Road. I'm Elisa, the owner, and we're here this evening with our tutorial of Let's Make Up. And you're going to meet Hunter this evening. If you don't already know her, she works with us. You've probably met her when you come in and got your dress. If not, come in and meet her and get your dress too. So without further ado, come on over, Hunter. This is Hunter.
Ooh. Hi everybody. My name's Hunter. I work here. You might be thinking right now that I look a little different than usual if you see me in here. That's because I only have on half my makeup, which makes sense. Today I'm going to do my makeup, and we are going to do our makeup to match this dress. It's real cute, black off the shoulder, and it has a lot of pinks and maroons in it, so that's what we're going to try to do. Thank you, Miss Lisa.
You're welcome.
Another thing I want to mention is that I have a mirror right here, so if you see me looking at you guys and then also looking this way, it's because I can't see what I'm doing if I'm looking at you. So I'm probably going to look in this mirror for a lot of it. It's pretty normal. Okay. First thing is I already have foundation on, like I said. If you're wondering, I'm wearing some Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. It is a little more high-end. So if you're looking for a good dupe for this one, I would recommend the Milani foundation from CVS, Rite Aid. It's from the drugstore and it's really full coverage, which is great. I also have my eyebrows filled in. As you can see, they look super crazy right now, but I promise once I have the rest of my makeup on, they will look more normal. I use the Anastasia Dip Brow, and I have a little brow pencil floating around here somewhere, you know, has a little spoolie on the end and then a little angled brush. That's what I use that with. And mine is the dark brown. Here it is. Yeah, mine's the dark brown. It's a little bit harder to use, so if you want something to start out with, I would recommend using their powder, or even if you have an eyeshadow powder that is the same color as your eyebrows, you can always use that. Okay, so that's what I did, and now I guess we're going to get started with everything else. The first thing I like to do after my foundation is use a little bit of bronzer to warm up my face. I know contouring is super popular right now, but sometimes when you contour it can be too harsh or it's kind of just hard to get it in the right place. So I like to just use bronzer to warm up my face, not necessarily contour all of it. And I'll show you how you do that. I know it also looks like I have a lot of brushes right now, but just so you know, I really only use about half of these, so don't feel like you need all of that to get this look. This is my little bronzer brush. I think this was $3 from the drugstore. And then I have a little Too Faced bronzer I'm going to use. I like to tap my brush off too before I put something on my face, just so I don't get a lot of product and make my face muddy or get too much product in the wrong area. So I always do a little tap. And then I'm going to make some really weird faces throughout this video. As you guys know, when you do your makeup, we look crazy. Hopefully nobody's shocked by this.
And the reason we like Hunter to show us the makeup this evening is because, like I said, she works with us and she knows all the dresses. She knows the colors and the styles, and so that's why we had Hunter do this with us this evening. Yeah. And we appreciate your time. Thank you, Hunter.
There are a lot of really good professional makeup artists out there, but if you're looking for something that you can do at home, this is definitely something that's attainable. As you can see right now, I just did it on my cheekbones right there. And then I also put a little bit up kind of in my hairline, kind of on my forehead. This is a trick you can do if you have a bigger forehead and you want to make your forehead look smaller. They actually recommend that you put bronzer right along your hairline. I don't think I have a huge forehead, but I do like a little bit of bronzer.
You don't. We would have noticed that, I think.
And I use a couple different bronzers. So, like I said, you don't have to have the same exact products as me. That's one of the ones I use. I also have a Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I have used a lot. I've used it very much, as you can see. It was a really good palette. This shade is super dark. I would be careful with really dark shades like that. But I'm just going to take a little itty bit on the end, and I'm going to work it right along my cheekbones. And then the same thing with the other side. I like to constantly look back and forth too at both my sides. Make sure they're even. You don't want to have more makeup on one side than the other. And like I said, I know at times you can look crazy. Something I want you guys to keep in mind is always keep blending. Just keep blending and blending and blending, and eventually it'll look fine. And then I usually apply it with this brush, and then I go out and blend with this brush. It's this one has a lot of brown on it, obviously, because that's what I use it for. This one's a little cleaner, and it just helps me. Okay, so that's bronzer. I personally don't wear a whole lot of blush. I don't wear any brushes, but I do wear blush sometimes, so I brought this one. It's the Balm Cosmetics, and it's just a little kind of neutral. It's not too bright, not hot pink, and I think it looks good on all skin tones. So when I do blush, I use this brush. It's kind of fluffy, and then I also do this weird thing where I smile, and then you put it right on the apples of your cheekbones. And if you don't have like very high cheekbones and you can't find them, that's why you smile. See, so my cheekbones are right there. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll also just put it right on top of the bronzer, kind of blend them together.
I can tell a difference. It looks good.
I don't want it to be subtle, but it does make a difference. And like I said, just a little bit at a time really helps. You're not going to put on, I like to build it up instead of put a lot on because you can't really take it back off. I like to do a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, and build it up. So that's the base for my face. And actually, I'm going to put a little more bronzer on, not because I want any more, but just to show you guys another trick. So, say you get a little crazy with your bronzer, and accidentally get it all over your jaw, which I actually do that a lot. Sometimes you get out of control. I'm going to take this powder from Walmart. It's called Airspun. That might be backwards to you guys, I'm not sure. I don't think it is, but you never know. Sometimes when you put things in a reflection of a camera, it flips them. And then I'm going to take my Beauty Blender, and I'm just going to take some of this powder on here. And when I use bronzer, sometimes I like it to carve out my cheekbones to make my face look slimmer. And then when you do that, you want it in a really specific place. So I'll take this powder, and I'll put it right under there. If I get too much bronzer down here, if you get your bronzer too far down and it's too dark and your face is looking kind of funny, you can take a really light powder and put over top of it, and then just let it sit on your face for like 2 minutes, 5 minutes while you're doing your other makeup, and wipe it off, and it'll clean that up for you. It'll give you a nice sharp edge. I look pretty crazy. Again, I have a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow going on, but that is what I do to make sure my line is nice and sharp and not pulled down, because if you put the dark bronzer further down on your face, it's going to drag your face down. And the same thing with your blush. If you put it too far down, you drag your face down and it kind of looks heavy. So I'm going to leave that there for a minute. You guys can look at me and laugh at me. And now I'm going to get started on my eyeshadow. For my eyeshadow, I use the Too Faced Peach palette every day. It's super neutral. Has a lot of pink colors in it, some brown colors. And then I'm also going to use a little bit of this Kylie Cosmetics palette. I think it's from Christmas or like the holiday edition or something. I'm not sure. Again, I know I have a lot of brushes, but this one is the one I use 90% of the time when I'm doing my eyes. It is, this is a Morphe brush. It doesn't have a name on it. It's just a nice little fluffy brush. I don't know if you can see. And like I said with the other stuff earlier, I like to start with light colors and build my way up. So I'm going to start with this white color, this one right here on the inside. And I'm just going to put that all over my lid. I like to put one color all over my lid. It kind of makes everything blend out a little better if you have the same base for everything. Sometimes I use an eyeshadow primer, sometimes I don't. I typically don't, but if you are doing a look and you want it to last a super duper long time, that might help you. I find that this palette stays on pretty well without a primer. Any questions out there? You guys have any questions or comments? Let me know. Next I'm going to go in with this other color. It's really light as well. And I think a lot of times people get carried away, or at least I know I used to do this. I used to get carried away because when you first start doing it with these light colors, you can't really see that much of a difference. But like I said, it's important to be patient and realize that it's going to make a difference, and it's better to build your way up than put too much and go a little crazy. And the next color I'm going to use, obviously these three are my favorites, so I'm going to start with those. I'm going to use a little pink one, and I just start it on the outside of my eye, and then I just blend it in kind of on my crease. If you put a brush on your eye, you can usually find where your crease is. It's that divot between your eyebrow and your eye. I'm going to do the same thing.
So how did you get started doing makeup, Hunter?
I did not wear very much makeup in high school. I would put on some powder maybe, some mascara, and that was about it. And then I worked at a pool for 5 years, didn't really wear any makeup there. And when I was in college, my complexion started to change a lot, and my skin started to get really red, and I was kind of self-conscious about it. And since then, I just kind of started wearing more and more makeup, and I realized how fun it is to wear makeup and how you can look like 7 different people, and that's kind of what I do. And then once I started working here, I also had the opportunity to dress up and wear a lot of makeup. And I just kind of, I watched a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of tutorials like this. By the way, I'm using this pink color in the middle. A lot of people, I used to be really scared of pink because I thought I would look childish or something, like too bright, but it's a really good color to blend. You want to use subtle colors to get started with. But I don't know, I just started wearing makeup one day, and then I started watching videos about it and learning about it. My sister also is a makeup artist, which has helped me a lot. And she's always been really into makeup and kind of doing different things and really cool things with her looks. So I've always been inspired and felt a little pressure to do the same thing. But I think now makeup is a lot more popular and a lot more affordable and easy to do when you're in high school than it was when I was in school. There's a lot more drugstore products that are really great out there, and a lot more tutorials and stuff that show you how to do your makeup. And so let's see, I'm going to grab our dress really quick so you guys can see.
There you go.
So right now I kind of have a basic pink look, I think, and so we're going to darken it up and do some browns because we have some vines in there.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. The next thing, what color? I'm going to use this color up here. It's a little dark brown. These are the ones I have to be really careful with. Tapping my little brush off. Don't want to get too much on there. I have made myself look like I had a black eye before, just on accident, so you want to be careful.
So you think this would be easy to do at home for our girls that are, especially our 9th graders now, are just going to homecoming for the first time, and they don't want to go out and for the expense of getting their makeup done, so they can do it at home.
Yeah, I definitely think this is something you can do at home. Like, I've only used this one brush the whole time, and I've only used one palette the whole time. So if you have a couple good products, it can really go a long way. And for girls who are just getting started in makeup, if I was going somewhere, this would be an everyday look for me. I would stop right here, and I wouldn't darken my eyes up anymore. I would just throw on some mascara, maybe a little shimmer shade, but nothing darker. This is a really good everyday look. So even when I do my darker looks, like I'm going to do today, I start the same way. So once you learn how to do that, you can really branch out and learn how to do other stuff pretty easy.
And like you said, it's just building it up.
Yeah, you guys see, I'm doing a lot of blending.
Okay.
Before I move on to my next color, I always blend a lot. Because I think it doesn't look like that much of a difference, but if I would just do one eye and then not the other, you would see how much the little subtle changes make. Let's see. Okay. This is another palette I'm going to use, and I'm just going to use this color. It doesn't look very dark, but once you put it on, it kind of helps a little bit. But if you don't have this one, or you don't have 2 palettes, you could skip this step. The same thing, I just go on the outer corner and blend in. You seeing a difference?
I see the difference.
I always like it to be darker on the outside, and I like to leave it a little lighter on the inside. I think, personally for me, when I put dark colors on the inside of my lid, my eye looks more closed. I think if it's brighter on the inside, it opens your eyes up. But everybody has a different eye shape, everybody has a different face shape, so some of this might not be true for you. But if your face looks like my face, you're in luck. Okay, and the next color I think I'm going to use is this really dark purple color over here. But when you put it on, it's not near as dark, which is a good thing. It gives it kind of a maroon pinky look once you actually put it in there. To
match the dress.
Yep. And while we're sitting here, I forgot I have this powder on my face. So I'm going to take my handy little brush and just wipe that off. And you can see it kind of lightened underneath. And then when you look straight on, you have more of a defined cheekbone, which is what I like.
Looks good.
Okay.
Now I know you're matching up with the bronze colors and the peachy kind of colors to match the dress tonight, but if you were doing like a red, a lot of girls I know have gotten their dresses and got red dresses.
Right.
What color eyeshadow would you do with like red?
Well, there are a lot of red eyeshadows, but personally I would do something more classic, maybe like black and gold, some browns, because I know a lot of times red can make your eyes look red.
Exactly.
Which some girls can pull it off. I personally, I don't do well with reds. I do better with purples, browns, pinky colors. So I would do something classic, maybe black and brown, kind of just a nice smoky eye. Gotta lean in there to look at it. And I'm just going in with the same color, that purple. I just keep using it over and over again until I get the pigmentation that I want. Until I achieve the look that I want. Because I'd rather keep putting it on than put too much on. Because once I put too much on, I'd have to wipe off my whole eye. And I'm not doing that.
Because I know a lot of girls, they've told me that they have gone actually out and spent a lot of money to get their makeup done for homecoming. And then only to go home and not like it.
Yep.
Wash it off and not like it.
I hear that a lot. And what's great about doing looks at home is you can practice before. You can get all your products. And even if you don't do your own makeup, your friends, your siblings, they can practice on you a couple times before your actual homecoming and make sure that you're getting the look you want rather than taking that one shot. Okay, and I think I like how dark it is now. So I am going on to the next step, which is needing a little teeny brush that's going to hide in here. Okay, so I use this brush. It doesn't have to be this exact brush. If you have a brush that looks like this or something, you can use it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the bottom of my eyes now, and I just match them to the top of my eyes. So I'm going to take the purple and I'm going to put it on the outside.
Like an eyeliner. Okay.
Just right on the bottom.
Okay.
Because personally I find if I don't do that, then my eyes look kind of empty at the bottom. So
Yeah, I know some of the eyeliner can look harsh too. Some of the black pencils and the eyeliners tend to look harsh.
I used to do a lot of the heavy eyeliner, but I've really stepped away from it. I think I overdid it a couple times. It's really popular, but sometimes I just can't get that straight line. Personally, I struggle with it, so I like to stick more to just using eyeshadow. And then I'm going to use the pink one that I used in the middle. And I'm going to put it in the middle. Just match the top to the bottom.
And this is about being easy. We're not making this real complicated. This is just something we wanted to bring to you guys this evening. As we said, just to make something easy for you all to do on your own.
That is the goal. And like I said, practice makes perfect. It might not turn out perfect the first time, especially when you're trying a new look. You want to try a couple different things, and always less is more. When you're trying to get to a look, you want to start slow and build your way up. Okay, so I like that. I'm gonna just blend a little bit more because that's what I like to do. And then I like to take usually something shimmery and put it on the inside. So if you have this palette or a palette with a lot of shimmer, you could use this one. I am going to use a little Urban Decay. It's just an eyeshadow. I didn't know if it had a fancy name. And then I just take a flat brush. But you can always take your finger and do this too. I know your finger, a lot of times your finger will actually work better than a brush for something with shimmer in it. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put it on the inside. If you guys have any questions out there, leave them in the comments if you guys have questions or if you have ideas for other people. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Just take it in there. And like I said, I like to use a bright color, so even if I'm doing something shimmery, I like the bright colors. But if you don't like that, you can use a more yellow shade, more purpley shade, anything like that. Okay, and then my next step is one of my favorites. This is the highlighter that I use for my eyebrows. Not everybody uses an eyebrow highlight, but I like to. This is a little loose pigment, And I take this brush, but again, if you don't have this brush, you could use the same brush that I just used. This flat brush would work just fine. And I just barely dip it in there. Again, we're going to tap it off. Since this is a loose pigment, if you're not careful, this glitter will get all over your face, and that might be what you want, but sometimes that's not what I want. And then I just take this brush and I put it right under my eyebrow. And it highlights your eyebrow bone.
And that does have a little bit of glitter in it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
So if you're not careful, you'll have some fall out. But it's nice when the light hits. Kind of, you walk into the room, or if there's good lighting. This is going to be something that really picks up in a picture too. It's kind of the subtle things that pick up better in your pictures. And I know a lot of girls really, pictures are good for homecoming, prom. Those are your memories. So you want to look good. And if you don't have something that's actually made for highlight, you can also use an eyeshadow for this. If you had like a white eyeshadow with some shimmer, or yellow eyeshadow with shimmer, depending on your complexion, you can always use just a shimmery eyeshadow. Okay, so let's think. My next step is going to be to fix the mess that I made. And by that I mean, when I'm blending, sometimes I blend, and you can see it kind of went past my eye, and you might think that looks messy. But I'm going to take some concealer, and this is just Milani, it's from the drugstore. And I'm going to make a mess, like always. And I put everything on my hand when I do my foundation, so if you ever come in to work and you think that there's something on my hand, it's probably just makeup, so don't worry. And then I'm going to take this little flat angled brush, and I'm just going to really carefully dip it in there and make the straightest line that I can. And I'm going to drag it down. And then I'm going to take my handy dandy beauty blender. I'm going to blend it out a little bit. And it's not always perfect, but it does look a little better sometimes.
It does.
And a little funny face. Do we like it?
It does. I can see the difference.
Sometimes I like to meet it right up to my eyebrow, sometimes. So then you have a nice clean line. And then I'm just going to do the same thing to the other side. When I do an everyday look, I don't necessarily worry about this because it's lighter colors, but when I am using these darker colors, this is something I do. And then again, you just pull it down. This side, I like the way this side turned out better, which happens a lot. Nothing's going to be perfectly symmetrical. If you got your makeup perfectly symmetrical, you'd probably be a magician. So this one's a little bit more relaxed. This one was a little higher. That happens. Once you finish your face, nobody's going to notice little stuff like that. And sometimes I'll take my little powder too and put right back over top of that, just to lock it in and make sure it's going to stay. This is the powder I use after I do my foundation also. Lock it in, and it looks good. And I know that's very white right now. Again, we'll dust that off just like we did earlier.
And let's be sure and tell the girls at home that always clean your face at night and wipe your makeup on.
Yes, always wash your face. That was a hard lesson for me to learn. But if you sleep in your makeup and then you're breaking out every day and asking yourself why, could be because you're wearing makeup. Now some girls, I went through a phase, I washed my face every day, every night, and I still broke out. So it might not always help. Some things you can't control, but washing your face is important. I love to wash my face now.
Yes.
Alright, and next we're going to do mascara. This is from the drugstore. It's L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. I just really like it. It's really affordable and it works really well for me. I'm going to have to look in a mirror for this, so you guys are going to have to look with me. I put the wand right up on the edges and I kind of wiggle it a little bit to make sure I coat the bottom of my lashes, not just the top. So I do a little wiggle.
I read on somewhere, I forgot where it was actually, but a hack to use. You can take a little brush and put baby powder on it, and then put baby powder on your eyelashes, and then another coat of mascara.
I could see that, maybe to make it stick better.
Right, right.
And something else I do, I coat the bottoms of my lashes and the top. So sometimes I look down and I put it right up there, and then I go back down here. Make sure it's not clumpy. But now we're starting to look better. Those are the eyelashes. I think that makes a lot of difference too. A lot of times when I'm doing my eyeshadow, I'll get discouraged because I feel like it's too dark, it looks crazy. But once you put mascara on, everything looks better. I'm just going to do the same thing over here. Also, I know a lot of girls pump their mascara. I used to do that. I read online that's not good for your mascara.
It puts air into it.
Yep. Puts air into it and dries it out. So if you have a habit of putting your mascara in there and wiggling it and pumping it up and down, might be why your mascara is getting clumpier faster or not working out as long. And when I do the inside of my lashes, you'll see I kind of take it this way instead. It's a little easier for me because I'm right-handed. When you get to your left eye, it's hard to do that. So I just do that. And then I don't do my bottom lashes immediately after I do my top lashes because I like to let my lashes dry before I try to do the bottom, because when I try to do the bottom and I look up, I'll get little dots back there. So I'm going to hold off on my bottom lashes, and we're going to move on to the next step. And my next step is going to be highlighter. I have a Too Faced highlighter I'm going to use. I really like highlighter. It's kind of popular right now, but if you don't want highlighter, you don't have to use it. Your look could be done. I'm also going to take this brush and dust off that powder we put up there earlier. And then I'm also just going to dust all the way under my eyes in case any of the eyeshadow fell down. You don't want to leave it on there and then rub your face and wipe a big purple smudge across your face. So I'm just going to brush everything out again. And then I'll take this little brush, and if you guys are wondering, I get a lot of my brushes and a lot of my makeup from Ipsy. This brush came from Ipsy and I love it. And highlighter is just shimmery. It's usually kind of lighter than your face, and you just put it on the parts of your face you want to highlight. When I do my bronzer, I put my bronzer on the parts of my face that I want to look kind of like a shadow or hollow out. And I put the highlighter on the parts of my face that I want to bring forward and illuminate. I do it right on top of my cheekbones, and then I'll go right up and down my nose. And I'll also put it on my Cupid's bow. That is supposedly supposed to make your lips look bigger. And then another really good highlighter that I like to use is the Balm Cosmetics. This was also in my Ipsy. And it just looks like an eyeshadow again, so if you have an eyeshadow this color, you might be able to use it as a highlighter. Try that out. And you can see a lot of that came off. So I'm going to tap it off because I don't want to look crazy. And then I'm going to put it there. Do the same thing over there, and then right up and down the nose. And I think that's where you can see it the most, is on your nose. But if you are using a flash for your pictures, this is going to show up really well. And I'm also going to take a makeup remover wipe right now. I get a lot of makeup on my lips when I'm doing makeup, and I like to wipe it off before I try my lipstick. So I'm going to wipe all my makeup off my hand, because I always do that, and then I'm going to wipe my lips. And then I'm going to finish off the bottom lashes and my mascara. Sometimes I forget to do that, so if you ever come to work and you see that I don't have mascara on, don't say anything. I always forget because I wait to do it till last. And I don't have any tricks for this. Just run your mascara wand right along the bottom line. And the same thing over here.
So you could definitely do your makeup at home in 30 minutes.
Yeah, how long? How many minutes?
Good question. I'm not used to your phone. It's been about 30 minutes, yeah.
Okay. That's kind of the finished look. Sometimes when I get done, I'll look at everything, see if there's anything else I would change. Right now, I would put a little more bronzer on. You don't have to do this, but once I get my eyeshadow done, it's kind of easier for me to see what I want or what I don't want to add. And I just keep blending.
Especially for evening, if you're going to homecoming, you want a little bit more.
More than usual. It's going to be dark
Yeah.
inside.
So you want a little bit
And I kind of put bronzer all around my face to make my face, I have a round face, so to make my face look slimmer, put the dark all right there. Because like I said, the light parts are what comes out. So after I do my cheekbones, I always drag it up. I never drag it down. Always want it to go up. Same thing over there. Making sure I'm looking even. And then I'm going to take the big brush you guys have been seeing me use and just make sure everything is nice and well blended.
It's amazing how makeup changes the way we look, isn't it?
Yep. It's
Enhances our
different.
feature.
You can make yourself look like whatever you want. I'm a firm believer. And now I'm going to take some lipstick. I'm going to use some darker colors. I'm going to use this NYX. I never know which one it is. It's just a lip liner. SPL 804 if you're wondering. And this is also a NYX lipstick. That's a tongue twister. This one came in my Ipsy, this one's from the drugstore. They're both super affordable. And I did put on some chapstick before I did this. I always put on chapstick at the beginning of my makeup and then let it set the whole time I'm doing it. And then right before I put anything on, I like to wipe it off so it doesn't mess up the formula. And I'm going to line my lips with this. This is going to get funky. Probably going to make some more strange faces. Did you tell them about the new dresses we got in?
Actually, no. I was going to tell them about that. We did get some new dresses in. A new shipment came in today. Some really cute ones. We got a floral print. We got a cute little two-piece in navy. We got a royal with rhinestones.
Sorry guys, I can't really talk to you right
That's
now.
okay. We're watching. Let's see, what else did we get in? I think we got in 5 or 6
Black
new
off
dresses.
The shoulder.
The black off the, oh, that's right, the black off the shoulder with all the lace and the cold shoulder. And the little belt, the black satin. Very, very cute. And then we're getting a few more in tomorrow, getting ready for Saturday and Sunday, which always are busy, busy days.
When I line my lips, I do the full outside. Sometimes I fill in the inside too a little bit, especially on my inner corners. And then I'll put a lighter color in the middle. That also makes your lips look bigger.
And remember, keep in mind we're open here Monday through Friday, 12 to 6, Saturday 11 to 6, and of course Sundays. Be patient with us and come in on the weekends. We're extremely busy, but if you're patient with us, then we're going to find you the right dress. That matches that dress very nice.
And then sometimes I'll take a little napkin or paper towel because once you put when you first put your lipstick on, it's a little heavy. So I will do a little bit of that. And then your lipstick is a little more subtle. See, and now once I have my lipstick on, personally, I would add more eyeshadow because I think the lips are a little heavy, but you could leave it at this. Do we want to put our dress on?
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to put my dress on, and Elisa is going to take over for you guys.
Here you go, sweetie.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for joining us this evening. And as Hunter said, she's going to put on the little dress, and she put the makeup on to match that dress. I hope this tutorial was fun for you guys. I actually learned things myself, and I've been doing makeup for a long time. Makeup changes over the years. And so we've had fun this evening. Next week, you're going to meet with Jordan, and she's going to do hair and show you a couple ways you guys can do homecoming hairdo at home, easy. Again, these tutorials are for you guys who don't want to go out and spend the money to get your makeup done and get your hair done. So we're just trying to help you guys make a wonderful homecoming, especially our young girls that are just getting started. Here she is. Let's put our hanger up. Hold on, guys. Okay. You got it, baby girl?
Yep.
All right. There you go.
Got some lacing up to do.
Yep. All right.
We also got in some new jewelry last week, so we have a couple new accessories that match this dress.
Oops,
all right.
Sorry. Okay.
Am I good? All right. I personally think I did a pretty good job on matching it up.
We think you do awesome. We got our new jewelry in. This is one of the pieces we just got in, our black chokers. Of course, it goes great with this little dress.
And a black choker goes great with a lot of things. So once you get it, you can really rewear this, which is what I like about accessories.
Well, might be able to get it. Okay, sorry, I don't mean to choke you. Huh? Hence choker. Get it?
Yep.
You're like, yeah, I got it. A little loose there, but that's
normal.
Right,
and
yeah.
then I'll switch out my hairband for a nice new bracelet.
Yep.
And like I said, once you have the dress on, you can kind of see too if you want to do a darker eye, if you want to do more of a pink eye. It's really up to you.
All right. Well, we hope you've enjoyed our tutorial this evening, our hunter's tutorial. Thank you. Thank you guys for sharing your evening with us, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye. Tomorrow. No, next week.
Make sure to come back and catch Jordan.
That's
next
right.
Thursday. Oh, we're still on.